y'all, it's Melissa. I am here at Operation Unbroken, 1747 West Loop 281 in Longview, Texas. I can't wait for you to see this place. Come on in. Hey y'all, it's Melissa with Update East Texas, here again with a small business owner in East Texas. I am so honored to be here with Lucero Harris. Harris. Okay, I was like, wait, is that right? Yeah. Lucero Harris, who's co-owner of Operation Unbroken in Longview, Texas. And cool story, you guys know Patriot Golf USA in Tyler. And so they saw their interview and liked it, and we said, hey, who are you? And here we are, so excited to share this story and this business with you today. So I'm going to jump right in. How did you guys get to East Texas?
Well, my husband and I are both natives. We're from Kilgore. He's close enough to Kilgore. He's Leverage Chapel, if you know where that is, tiny town. But, you know, we both grew up here, and whenever we got married and left for the military, when he was done, we came home. And that was our big thing, is that we wanted to come home and raise our kids here.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Leverage Chapel, my daughter plays basketball.
Really?
And it's actually in her district. And so we were just there a few weeks ago.
So you saw it was like one school, one building for the entire school?
Yeah, for the entire school. Yeah, I was like, where are we going? And
that's so funny.
Yeah, but it was a good experience. So lots of hometown excitement inside that gym. So that's cool. That's a cool fun fact. So you both served in the Army. Your husband was active.
Yes.
Okay, is out, and then you're in the reserves currently.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so we're both Army. He served his active duty time. He enlisted in 2008 and then was medically discharged in 2011. And so, you know, after he was discharged, we came home, and I enlisted in 2017.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you both for your service and what you guys do for the entire country. So we are so thankful for that. So tell us about Operation Unbroken. How was this dream born for you and your husband?
So Operation Unbroken, it was honestly a dinner table talk with our kids. My husband and I, we've always wanted to be our business owners. We've always wanted to kind of run something ourselves, and the dream of be your own boss kind of thing was really intriguing for a long time. But ever since he retired, because when you retire at 21 years old, like, what do you do with your life? Right, yeah. So it was always a talk of, okay, what can we own? What can we do? And everything that we looked at, we were halfway into it. Like, okay, I could support that halfway. Yeah. It wasn't us. We've looked at so many different kinds of businesses. We've looked at franchises. We've looked at everything. And it was never us. Yeah. And we didn't want to sell something or have a product that we would have to support just because we own it. Right. We didn't want to be those kind of people. So we wanted to say, okay, if I have it, it's because I support it, and I would use it, and I would want it no matter what. And really, we were having dinner with our kids and talking about what business ventures we could have. And we're looking around. this is everything this is when I tell people, like, this is my house, this is what we have in our home. These are the products that we use in our home. These are products and businesses that we are 100% behind. And so that's how the idea kind of started, forming and getting together, was, doing something that we've been doing for years, and that's buying veteran-owned brands.
That's awesome. Veteran-owned brands, that's really cool. And when you come into your store, you can tell that it's veteran-owned brands.
Yeah.
And that's so attractive. So what are some of the brands that you guys support?
So nationally, there's some brands that are known across the nation. Things like Black Rifle Coffee, Grunt Style, Nine Line Apparel. So these are the bigger brands that people know. Then we also have a few other brands like Frag Out Flavor and Bear Performance Nutrition that are veteran owned, but they have an audience, but it's not, when I throw the name out like Black Rifle Coffee, you're like, oh wait, yeah, I know those guys. And so we started off with those bigger brands, and the really awesome part that was, we were able to bring in local veteran-owned brands as well.
Awesome.
And some local veteran-owned brands that we didn't even know existed. And so now we are so excited to have, or like Pepper Rick Farms, Go To Socks, Wicks Furniture and Decor, Lori Darling Candles. And so these are local people that are, have their own brands, and that's really exciting for us to have, is to build that family locally and nationally.
That's awesome. So before I came, I was looking at some of the locally owned brands that you have, and really, really spectacular products that I haven't heard of either. And so to have a business and to support other businesses inside your business is really cool.
Yeah, that's really a really rewarding part of this, because like I said, our goal was to, put it all under one roof. Okay, let's have something, let's offer it to people. We've had so many, customers that say, oh man, I wanted to buy that, I just don't want to buy the shipping, but they come in looking for something, then they notice another brand like Pepper Rick Farms, and who's a local, he's our hot sauce guy. But he's local. He grows his own, peppers, and not only that, he gives back to veteran organizations. So I mean, how awesome is to be able to have that here, have a friendship with, we call him the Pepper Rick. We still call him Pepper Rick. Have a friendship, and then also be able to tell people about him. And it has been a true blessing to be able to, say, hey, I get to share, Rick with everybody.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you said friendship, which I love, because this isn't the first time you said friendship. So when you think about these businesses that you invite into your store, your goal is more than just having their product on your shelf.
Yes.
It's doing life with them.
Absolutely. That's kind of one of the things that really, drew us to these brands in the first place, was having that bond and having that military bond and with all of these products. And that's kind of why a lot of their customers, their veteran customers, are drawn to them, because they have it's a piece of home for them, Black Rifle Coffee, like, as funny as they are, and if you follow them and things like that, they're some funny guys, but they, when you think of jokes or something that are so relatable, and they kick you in the gut because they're like, so relatable. It's those kinds of things, and that you just keeps you close to home. And that's kind of why we bought these things in the first place. It's kept us close to home. But then realizing that we're able to bring that to other people, it was great. That's kind of what we wanted. But one kind of blessing in disguise was being able to form this veteran community that we didn't know existed out here. We've been here for years, and we didn't realize how strong our veteran community was in East Texas.
That's awesome. That's really cool. To be able to find that kind of community is just not only a great resource, but it's just good for the soul.
Oh, absolutely.
So love that. I absolutely love that. So thinking about your business and sitting at that table with your family and thinking about bringing something to life here at home for you guys in East Texas, was there anything that kind of stood in your way? You had said earlier when you looked at other venues or other opportunities, it was just kind of halfway. You weren't all in, like your heart wasn't in it. Was there anything that stood in your way when you were thinking about building this business that you guys had to work through to get to it?
The biggest thing that stood in our way was having no retail experience. My husband and I are both, he was Army, and then we've basically done all sorts of things. I mean, our main goal is, our children. And so whatever we had to do to bring food to the table for them and things like that. So, but we've never had retail experience. So that was probably a huge, obstacle, was just having the confidence to be able to say, okay, let's tackle retail. But so when we were having our conversation, it was late 2019. So January, like the first week of January 2020, we filed for our tax, tax stuff that we needed. We started to get the ball rolling. We started contacting vendors, getting everything ready. And then March, we were actually in early negotiations with our building, was in March. And my husband's not on social media. And so I kept telling him, like, hey, we gotta slow down a second. There's something crazy going on. Some people are going a little crazy right now. We might have to slow down. And he would tell me, like, don't be afraid. Like, we're gonna have to pull the trigger sometime. Like, we're gonna have to do this. It's gonna be okay. I'm like, no, it has nothing to do with me being afraid. Like, something's going on with the world that I don't know if we can do it. And sure enough, like a week later, I told him to go to Walmart and say, go buy some eggs.
And there were no eggs.
And so he came home and he said, you're right, what's going on with these people? And so I think a week later was when our kids never went back to school after that because of COVID. So I think that was probably a huge obstacle, was, obviously was trying to navigate through COVID and what, you're trying to open a business and then you have all these extra things going on around you that you can't have no control. So that was a crazy turn.
And all that, getting everything.
It was a crazy turn of events for sure.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys still pulled the trigger and still opened, because there's a lot to be said about, a fear of the unknown and a fear of your future. And so not having the fear for your future was very, very, probably the best decision you guys made in that circumstance. So congratulations to y'all. Because I think a lot of people would have run the other way, if things were a little bit chaotic around them. So
we thought about it, but we had everything already. It was just ready to go. The moment that our governor actually opened our businesses 50-50 was the moment that we came in and threw everything together within a week and opened.
That's awesome.
And so we finally were able to do that, and which is also, a great opportunity for us, because at that moment everybody was really, if you were spending money, you were thinking about where your money went, right? And you wanted your dollars to matter. So everybody was shopping local. Everybody was, trying to do a made in America, and we just hadn't. For a long time, we didn't have to think about things like that until we realized and we saw, like, who are the guys that are actually manning our towns, like who's making our economy really go, turning. And it was our local, businesses that were keeping our communities together. And so we were fortunate because people wanted their dollars to matter. They weren't just spending for the heck of it anymore. And that was good for us.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. And it's true. Small businesses literally are the backbone of communities. Sometimes we don't see it because we're blinded by the big corporations or social media who promote or push a certain brand, and then we forget until chaos happens who's going to be there to support the communities, and it's going to be the small business owners and the community, the people in the community. So that's an awesome story. I love it. Okay, I do have to ask something because I think this is important for us to talk about.
Yes.
So tell me about this sign, and if someone wanted something similar, who they need to contact for that.
Awesome. So our sign, like I said, when we opened, we ended up building a family. that we have of, our brothers and sisters, and that has been really special to us. And this guy, his name is Josh, and he is one of our favorite people. He's a huge supporter of us, most people can count on their mom to like everything, and we can always count on Josh, especially when you go to Facebook Live and nobody's, commenting. He's there for us.
Yeah, he's the one that's showing up.
Yes,
and
he's so awesome. He's always been so encouraging. But he is a disabled veteran who suffers and has to work through traumatic brain injury and all the complications that come after that. And so he started doing some woodwork, and this has kept him busy. And so he has his little businesses where he does these plaques, and he does anything that you ask him to with wood. I mean, he can do what you need. But the thing about him is, though, is that you have to email him to order anything, because through the TBI and the anxiety conversation, like you need to work up to have a phone conversation. So to purchase through him, you have to email him. He does have a Facebook page that I'll share with you. That we can post it later.
Sure, absolutely.
But he is just one of those family members that's across the street, he's one of those guys where you're not going to find him at the mall on any day, but when he heard we were open, he was here.
That's awesome. Very cool. So, well, when you first walk in here, this is what you see. Like, this stands out, and you're like, whoa, that's awesome. Not only that it's true, because it is a veteran-owned business, but that this in itself is just a beautiful piece. And so I wanted to make sure we shared that brother on the video so he could be recognized. That I saw it and I was like, dang, that's beautiful. So, so tell me, what's a couple things that someone can expect if they came through your doors?
So one thing that I really enjoyed, and what we did is based off of my husband's shopping experiences. He likes to come in, get something, and he's done, kind of thing. There's a reason why we're not in the mall kind of thing, just because we understand it takes a lot for a veteran to be around crowds like that. So when you walk in, one thing that I've always really liked is for me to be able to tell you who made this. Who are the people, who are the veterans behind this product? The frag out flavor, we have seasoning blends. Who would have thought we had seasoning? But he is a guy out of Colorado, and he's got a family, and Patrick from the beginning was really supportive of our company, and we were his first Texas location, and now he's got hundreds of locations. Cool. So it's really exciting to see him grow. But then also we have, like I said, our local guys. We have Sweet Mocha Tumblers, and she is a Navy vet, and so she started doing her tumblers and things like that. So I like to be able to tell everybody their story. We have some dual military spouses. Lori Darling candles. One was Air Force, one was Navy. So I like to, cool. And they are awesome. Every time they come in, I like to be able to tell, see what they're doing. And then I like to tell, if you were to come in and ask me about the candles, I can tell you, oh, well, Lori. You'll when you walk away and you look in the car in the bag what you bought, like, oh yeah, that's my friend.
Absolutely.
So I like for you to know what you're buying and who the family is and who the veteran is behind each product. Or Wicks Furniture Decor, we have some other woodworking plaques. He's a really awesome guy. He's one of those veterans that's 110% every day of what he's doing. And he started his own nonprofit working for veterans, and it's VAST. VAST is the name of the nonprofit. The Veterans Are Stronger Together. Okay. And apparently there's no homeless shelters for veterans from here to Dallas.
That's right.
Absolutely none. So he's out there working, trying to get some shelter for them. So me being able to tell you about Jay and what he's doing, and it's really awesome for me to be able to do that. When you walk away, I want you to, you'll walk away and you get to know me, but you also get to know 10 other veterans that you had no idea.
You didn't know whose families you're supporting.
Absolutely.
When you buy that product. So very cool. And that is a true fact about the homeless. There is not a veteran location of any sort that supports the homeless veterans. And so check out FAST. That's a very VAST.
Yes.
Okay, check that out. That's very important. That homelessness is very dear to our heart. And so we know that that is an awesome nonprofit and it definitely needs support. So, okay, so I have to get super local. Now, I know you and your husband probably don't like go to like major concerts or anything like that around here, but what's, one or two places for folks that are moving from outside of East Texas? Maybe they're thinking about Longview, Tyler, could be Marshall even, anywhere around here, and they're new, that you can say, you've got to go check this place out.
Yeah, so one thing that I was telling you is that we're a huge golf family.
Yeah.
My husband picked up golf as therapy, once we came back from Afghanistan, and so he picked up a golf club, and it kind of saved his life mentally is what I look at the game of golf. So that's how, our golf is such a strong, it's such an important thing in our life. Which is how we got to know each other through Matt and Shirley and Patriot Golf. So the two places that I recommend which are basically my other homes, are Alpine Target Golf Center. Okay. Alpine Target Golf Center is north of Longview, and it's a driving range, but it's like the next best thing that you can get to Topgolf.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's BYOB, and it's so it's a really laid back golf experience, so you're not, you don't have to worry about doing something wrong.
Yeah.
As long as you're not hurting anybody, and you have a smile on your face, they're welcoming. And so they're the home of First Tee Piney Woods. Okay. And it's just a really cool, laid back, relaxed place to be at. And so that's my number one go-to place. And actually, my phone thinks it's my home. Like where you go on maps and you put home, it takes me to Alpine Target. I gotta fix that. But
that's awesome.
So there's that. I feel like it's one of Longview's hidden treasures, especially if you have a child wanting to get into golf. They're the home of First Tee, Piney Woods, and then also Tempest Golf Club, which is close to where we live. I don't know if y'all have heard of Tempest Golf Club. Yeah. It's one of our newest golf courses that we have in East Texas. And it's a beautiful place. Like, you would not think that you're in East Texas anymore, because it's like the rolling hills, and it is crazy how beautiful this course is, and it's out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So that's our second home. But they have a really awesome Neptune's Grill and Bar. Okay. And so it's a really awesome place for new people to come in, and it's been attracting a lot of people from like Dallas to come and play, and so it's been really nice for our local our local community, because we have people that stop at the our local eateries and everything. And then I have one more though. Okay. Because I have another home. And this is the VFW Post 4002. And this is a really important place for me to go and be. And one, because the VFW here locally, they suffered a lot through COVID. They almost lost their entire program and nonprofit there, just because of how bad it hurt them. Yeah. They were able to rework everything, and so they do have a restaurant in there that's open to the public, and not a lot of people know that you can go out there and get you a really good hamburger. Okay. And so the VFW Post 4002 is an awesome place. Friendly people, you go in there and have your dinner, and it's a great place to be at. So
that's awesome. Very cool. Love it. So 3 really cool places to check out. Yeah. And it sounds like it's all very unique and special to visit those places. Okay, I have another question for you. Yes. So I think a lot of business owners are like you guys when you're talking about at the table and kind of putting your foot in, checking it out. So what's one piece of advice you would give to someone who's looking to open their own business? What's that one piece of advice you would give them?
Do it. Do it. Just do it. Pull the trigger, get it done. I mean, we were thinking about being business owners for 10 years. Yeah. And you look at it, you're like, man, if I had opened this 5 years ago, look, where would we now? And you don't want to have that regret, Just do it and try it, worst comes to worst, I mean, you tried it.
Right. Yeah.
And you don't have to live with that uncertainty, and you know that you tried it, you did what you could, you tried your best, and you got it done.
Yeah.
Or you could be pleasantly surprised and have a whole new family.
Yeah, exactly. Very true. Wise words. No regret.
Yeah.
But it's true.
My
You might
kids
go your
make
whole
fun of
life,
me.
you know?
Yeah, my kids make fun of me because I always tell them, like, YOLO, guys. Do it.
Yeah. That's funny.
So that's one thing. It's like you just have to do it and do your best at what you're doing. It's kind of something that we tell our kids, like, just do it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna, lose anything,
Right.
If you try it.
Yeah. You're just gonna gain experience. And
Doors
sort of
open,
work.
Things like that. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so before we go, is there anything else that you want to make sure our viewers know about your business?
Yeah, so when you come and shop with us, what you're doing is, one thing that a lot of people thought was that we were a nonprofit, and we're not necessarily a nonprofit, because we're just trying our business to sustain itself, but we do work with a lot of nonprofits. So we work with the Texas Wounded Warriors, we work with VAST, we work with the VFW, and any way that we can help, we do work with them. And there are our go-to charities, to go to. But so that's kind of one thing that I like to set the record straight, because I don't want people to like think anything bad or we came across the wrong way kind of thing. So so that's one thing. And another thing is we talked about our name, Operation Unbroken, and you said, hey, how did you get that name?
Yeah.
And it's really important for me to share, what our name means and where it came from and what our journey meant. Operation Unbroken is a tribute. It's a tribute to our military marriage. And, my husband and I, we were married young at 18 years old, and he went to war, within 4 months of us being married. And this was back in 2009. So, that's like the height of the Afghanistan war, and a lot was going on over there. So we being young was one thing, but then you add all the extra military, complications to marriage, and so it was tough. And so, Operation Unbroken is just basically our way of saying we won't give up on each other, but at the same time, we have to tell ourselves, like, we can't give up on ourselves. So, Operation Unbroken was a great way for him, personally. He has a lot of daily struggles that he has to do, and then a great, reminder for us as a couple. And so our name is really important to us. Our tagline, that one of our good friends with Honor Warrior Branch thought of for us, he does our dog tags. I told him our story, and he said, you know what, this is it: survive, heal, thrive.
Yeah.
And so that is our tagline for Operation Unbroken, and it could not be more true, because that's just our daily, our daily reminders of, we have to survive, we have to, heal. There's a lot of healing and then thriving. Yeah. And so
that's awesome. I'm so glad you shared that too, because I think that not only is it just a reminder that I think marriage is hard in general. And when you add layers and layers of other things like military, and then war, and then children, and then, absence.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're like having to redate each other all the time, Yeah. I love it. I love it.
And a lot of people, I feel like they look at the soldier side of the story, and or they look out for the soldier and like, okay, what can we do for you as a soldier? But a lot of people forget about the Army wives. Yeah. And so I always think of myself like I'm an Army wife first, and I'm a soldier second. And that's just, because Army wives go through a lot, I feel like, and they're definitely like true heroes to stand by their soldier.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. And to not give up. Because it's easy to run the other way. Yeah. Like, it's easy to make an excuse and justify, running the other way. But to stand firm and understand and respect the value of marriage, regardless of the circumstance, that's a beautiful gift and really is very heroic. So thank you for sharing that. Of course. Okay, tell people where they can find you if they were here coming into the store.
Okay, so Operation Unbroken is located at in Longview at Loop 281 and Gilmer Road. We are right by Big Lots and Aldi's, right behind Walgreens over here. So we're a small little shopping center. And you can also find us on Facebook at Operation Unbroken and Instagram as well. So we're on there. And then be sure to follow us because, here, within the next month, we'll have our e-commerce. And that's going to be really exciting for us.
So what is that?
So just our online store, because right now we are...
you're going online to shop.
Yes.
Okay,
so right now
cool.
we are just, brick and mortar only. And we, something that we want to be able to provide is people, from all over the country to order from us.
Very cool. Oh my goodness, that's exciting news.
Yes,
Cool.
but we got lots of learning to do.
Well, that's okay. You guys can do it for sure. We know a business owner that is e-commerce, but mainly just through Christmas. And I was talking to him the other day, and he said, it's just there's hundreds and hundreds of orders, and you look at it and you're like, where do I start? And then all you can say is just go. Like, that's all you can do is one at a time. So I think people will support you guys, whether they're local or across the country, and they'll support you either way. But congratulations on that. That's just another area of growth for you. So good job.
Thank you.
Okay, follow them, and we'll put everything in the description for you guys so you know. And we'll also kind of give you a quick glimpse of what their store looks like so you know what to expect when you come here. I already have a favorite hat that I want and coffee, and I saw some pet stuff over there that I'm going to look at. So there's plenty of cool things for you to come see. Come see Operation Unbroken. Come let them tell you about the story about the people in your community that fight for your everyday, have fought for your future. And so we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much.
Bye, guys.